A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is such a privilege and pleasure to have all of you take time out to be with us. I am Shan Kohli, a student of XLRI Delhi NCR, and I shall be your host today. I have 10 fellow students here to facilitate you through the event. I welcome you once more on their behalf as well. Request you to kindly keep your phones on silent mode. Thank you. Before we start the proceedings, I would request for the ceremonial lamp to be lit. Amulya, please come up to help in the same. May I request the following dignitaries to light the lamp one by one. Justice Indira Banerjee, Shri I.V. Rao, Father Casimir, Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay, and Professor Renu Mattu. Thank you very much. Now, I request all of us to rise for the prayer song.
स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
Thank you very much. Kindly be seated while I request the following people to take their places on the dais. Father Casimir, Director XLRI Delhi NCR, Justice Banerjee, Retired Judge of the Supreme Court of India and a legal luminary, Mr. I.V. Rao, Distinguished Fellow of TERI and an institution in the Indian automobile industry, Dr. Rajiv Roy, Dean of Academics at XLRI Delhi NCR, and Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay, founder of INDEA and an automobile industry veteran and expert. Thank you all. It is such a privilege to have all of you here on this important milestone for both XLRI as well as the Indian automobile industry. In tandem with the national goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat, Vikasit Bharat, and becoming a $5 trillion economy, our alma mater has taken the decision to explore and expand into fields of learning beyond management education. Design is one such key direction, and it is in that context that we are gathered here today to announce the first step towards the proverbial giant leap. On that note, I request Father Casimir, Director of XLRI Delhi NCR, to share with all of us the vision and way forward for our alma mater, whose 75th anniversary coincides with our nation becoming a republic. Request you, Father.
The Honorable Justice Madam Indira Banerjee, Mr. I.V. Rao, stalwart of automobile industry, Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay, founder of Indian School for Design of Automobiles, Professor Rajiv Roy, Dean, Academics, XLRI Delhi NCR, experts of automobile industry, doyens of design, members of print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's indeed a momentous occasion as we gather here today to celebrate not only the inception of the Indian School for Design of Automobiles, but also to reflect upon the remarkable journey of XLRI over the past 75 years. This institution has not just been a seat of learning, but a crucible of leadership, innovation, and excellence. Today, we stand on the cusp of a new chapter in XLRI's history as we expand our legacy into the realm of automobile design. XLRI's journey began in 1949 with a vision to foster ethical and responsible leadership in the field of business and management. over the years, we have evolved, adapted, and expanded our horizons. Today, XLRI stands as a beacon of quality education, producing leaders who have made a significant impact on the global stage. As we inaugurate the Indian School for Design of Automobiles, we are responding to the changing dynamics of the industry. The automotive sector is at the forefront of technological advancements and innovation, and XLRI is poised to contribute significantly to this arena. Our commitment to nurturing talent and fostering a culture of creativity aligns seamlessly with the needs of the automobile design landscape. Allow me to share some key achievements and milestones of XLRI that have paved the way for this momentous day. Academic excellence. XLRI has consistently ranked among the top business schools in India and globally. Most recently, our general management program broke into the global top 100 in the FT rankings 2024. Thank you. Our commitment to academic rigor and relevance has been the cornerstone of our success. Global impact. XLRI has produced leaders who have made a mark not only in India but across the world. The recent example being Leena Nair, CEO of global fashion brand Chanel, featured by Time as one of the 12 extraordinary women of the world. Our alumni network is a testament to the global influence of XLRI graduates in various industries. Innovative programs. Over the years, XLRI has introduced pioneering programs that reflect the evolving needs of the industry. Our focus on staying ahead of the curve has allowed us to produce graduates who are not just professionals, but visionaries. Research and publications. XLRI has been at the forefront of cutting-edge research. Our faculty members have consistently contributed to academic journals, publications, and research that have influenced management thought and practice. Social responsibility. XLRI has always emphasized the importance of ethical leadership and social responsibility. Our graduates are not just skilled professionals but responsible citizens contributing to the betterment of society. As we embark on a new chapter with the Indian School for Design of Automobiles, we are extending our commitment to excellence into the realm of automotive design. The automobile industry is undergoing a radical transformation with a focus on sustainability, efficiency, and aesthetics. We aim to equip our students with the skills and knowledge required to be leaders and innovators in this dynamic field. As we stand at the intersection of tradition and innovation, let's celebrate the journey that has brought us here and look forward to a future where XLRI continues to be a beacon of leadership and excellence. Together, let's create a legacy that not only honors our past, but also shapes the future of design and innovation in the automotive industry. Thank you, and may the spirit of XLRI continue to inspire generations of students to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. As a student, I am truly proud to be a part of this journey and this milestone. All of us students will certainly stand true to the motto of aspiring beyond for the greater good, never compromising on excellence and integrity. And now, let us learn what our new initiative is all about. For that, I invite Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay, our 1991 alumnus, automobile industry veteran, and the founder and chairperson of the XLRI Center of Automobile Design and Management. Over to you, Avik, sir.
Thank you. Welcome. This looks like a classroom. Not planned. Not planned by me. Okay. Yeah, but we chose this setting because this is what we are finally going to set up in the Delhi NCR campus. A wonderful facility which will create, nurture truly world-class automobile designers who will help the world, India specifically and the world in general, into more sustainable mobility. Let me just take you a little bit into what this is going to be all about, as to why all of us are gathered here. But before that, I would like to thank a few people without whom we wouldn't be here, and this wouldn't have happened. Okay. So first is, I would like to thank the three most important influences in my life. The first is my mother, who's sitting there. She continues to inspire me and amaze me every day. So every day she tells me something which I haven't thought of. Okay. The second is my first alma mater, which is XLRI. It was the first time I actually stepped out of, let's say, the cocoon of my parents and went into a world where they wouldn't see as to what I was doing every day. And a large part, and I can see Suresh laughing because he has all the gory details. But a large part of what I am today, good, bad, indifferent, is because of XLRI. And the third is my second alma mater, which is Maruti Udyog Limited. Okay, now known as Maruti Suzuki India Limited. And we've had a mini alumnus get together before we all settled down here. I cannot, this cannot have happened without these three people. This could not have happened without my batchmates from school, my batchmates from college, my colleagues from the various organizations I've worked in, my mentors who've seen the good side of me and the not so good sides of me since I started my professional journey way back in 1991. My seniors, my friends from the media who are actually friends, more friends, they happen to be in the media. Okay, and for those whom I don't know as yet, my soon would be friends. My mentors for this specific project, Gautam Da, who's not here with us today, but he is in Bombay. He couldn't make it, but hopefully he's seeing everything of what's going on. Justice Indira Banerjee, who's always been a sounding board for anything that I want to actually get into, and Rao Saab. We all call him Rao Saab. He's Ivy Rao, but we call him Rao Saab. Everybody calls him Rao Saab. Even his seniors called him Rao Saab. And these three have been my mentors for this project since the very, very initial thought I had of which is the best way I could actually pay back to the industry, which has made me. Okay. And finally, the students here. Okay, they put in a lot of hard work. the people in the XLRI Delhi NCR team who've actually put this all together, who all made it possible. Okay, so Ayush is going to actually help me with changing the slides because we have got a little bit of technical issues. So yeah, so this is truly an idea, whose time has come. And before I get into more details about it, I was just reminded of this little incident to do with Pablo Picasso. Picasso was doodling something in a restaurant in Paris, and someone recognized him, and he was drawing something on the napkin. Recognized him and walked up to him and said, "Mr. Picasso, it's such a pleasure to see you. And I see that you've been drawing something. Could I take that as a memento?" He said, "Yeah, and pay me 20,000 euros and the memento is yours." He said, but you've taken just 4 minutes to do this." He said, No. It's taken me 40 years to do this. And that is the importance of design. That is the importance of aesthetics. So Ayush, next slide, please. So as Father Casimir also said, okay, we are the world's second largest automobile market. Because if we combine two-wheelers, four-wheelers, three-wheelers, commercial vehicles, India is second after China. But at the same time, we are right now going through a huge amount of flux. Okay, they're to do with various issues. Okay, issues of vehicle penetration. Even if we are the world's second largest market, only 1.3 buses per 1,000 people are available in this country. Only 25 four-wheelers per 1,000 people. Just 130 two-wheelers per 1,000 people. So we've got a long way to go. So penetration is a big issue, especially at the entry level. Then we've got issues to do with emissions. And all of us here gathered here, most of you are from the automobile industry, you've been in the thick of it. You know what the industry has to go through. The third is to do with safety. Okay, the fourth with sustainability, which is the big, whether we want to call it a bear or we want to call it a gorilla, we want to call it the elephant, but it is a huge beast which is looming upon all of us, and we actually need to respond and eventually be proactive as an industry. It's to do with personalization, because today's consumer is changing and rapidly changing, possibly changing much faster than we can actually imagine. Possibly there are just a few people like Bhatia sir, who he and his organization are trying to fathom the minds of the consumer. Okay, and it's about connectivity. Okay, because it is a large digital world. People are discussing as to whether they're actually making mechanical instruments with digital interventions, or they're actually making one large digital instrument which happens to float on 4 wheels or 2 wheels or 3 wheels. Next, Ayush. So, in that context, if you look at the Indian automobile industry, world-class manufacturers, yes. World-class component makers, yes. World-class software operators, yes. World-class tech enablers, yes, but world-class designers, not yet. The few here in this room and a few others who are going to share their voices with us are there not because of the system, they're here in spite of the system. It's purely because of their own internal talent that they have reached where they have reached today. So what the country actually needs is a system in place which can actually create a pipeline of absolute world-class design talent in the country. Next, Ayush. And this is also in keeping with what the Prime Minister interestingly said on the 2nd of February. I was so pleased when he said this. Okay, he spoke some 30 minutes and I picked up only 25 seconds out of it, which was relevant to me, which was when he said, we should aim for the day when people across the world want to buy a car designed in India. And this is so important, which means what he's talking about, next slide, is not just make in India, but also design in India, which finally would lead us to a state where we create in India. This is about ideation, this is about conceiving things, this is about creating concepts out of them, this is about designing those concepts and finally making them. So Make in India is just one part of our story into becoming a $5 trillion economy. The real value addition that the industry can provide to the country and the country can provide to the world is when we actually end up creating in India. And this is extremely important. And therefore the need for a high talent pipeline. Next, Ayush. And why do we need it? Because right now, if you really see, there are actually 5 factors which have not really helped us get into a situation where we have this huge talent pool. Okay, there's very low industry interface. There's an overemphasis on traditional and theoretical pedagogy. There's low exposure to management education. There's lack of quality faculty and low funding in the latest hardware and software. And this is something which I learned in my months and months of research and discussions with my friends in the design fraternity. This is the feedback they gave me, which further reinforced my commitment into actually building a design institute. You know, this is almost like the IPL. The IPL is actually not in conflict with the rest of Indian cricket. The IPL actually takes the best of Indian cricket through the cricket's its own talent pool of Ranji Trophy, Deodhar Trophy, this trophy, that trophy, and picks up the best from there and pits them with the best in the world and makes them into absolute world-class performers. And that is what we really need in the Indian context. So there, Ayush, the country and the country's oldest business school have their collective focus on design. So it's almost as if, we are like converging, and this is a wonderful moment to be in. Okay, this is the perfect time for academia, practitioners, corporates to build institutions for actually creating world-class designers in India. And it is in that context that we are proposing India's first finishing school for automotive design. This is a dedicated school for automotive design, and it is a finishing school. We've heard of finishing schools in fashion, we've heard of finishing schools in cuisine, we've heard of finishing schools in some other aspects of aesthetics. This is planned as India's first finishing school for automobile design. A truly world-class school that selects the best of the graduate and postgraduate students from the existing schools and finishes them into high potential performers for automakers within India and across the world. And I would say not only automakers, even for studios that are into design. It will stand on the 3 pillars of a balance of intuition and industrial knowledge, rich industry interface, and exposure to global thought and application. And going forward, it will be a school of thought and action on Indian design. This is a very, very important vision that the school has. Drive the importance of design to the bottom line, extremely important. Okay, help establish design as integral to strategic management. And this is where XLRI's experience and expertise comes in. And lastly, rewrite the rule books of the approach to automobile design in the industry and in the country. Design is not an afterthought, or design is not an also thought. Okay, design is thought of right in the beginning when you're conceiving a solution to the customer. That is very, very important. We'll have a range of courses. There's a master's course for students, a 1-year trimester. There are refresher courses for design professionals for 6 to 8 weeks. Time for them to come together as a community, refresh as to what they're doing, learn a little bit more, okay, exchange ideas and thoughts and go back. There'll be an induction program, importantly for CXOs and functional heads. Okay, who think design is, one thing that cannot be measured, and secondly is a thing that need not be really invested in. It's very important, and it's not because they are at fault, it's just because nobody's really told them. Okay, so we need to tell them. And lastly, we'll obviously have a lot of workshops for 2 to 3 days. It's all about cohabitation and co-creation. I'll not go into details, but it's about aspects of design along with aspects like anthropology, architecture, consumer understanding, okay, and UI, UX, fashion, materials. It's everything coming together, okay, in this course on automobile design. The faculty is, we will get And we've got a lot of support already. We'll get leading and respected designers to come to the school. There are a few of my design friends here, and I would definitely need all of your time, okay, dedicated to the cause, okay, to come and teach the students here. Leading business leaders, there are lots of you here. I would again go back to all of you. Don't think I've called you here just for a good time. Okay, I'm going to go back to each one of you and ask you for your time, okay, to be invested into the school, into making the school happen. Obviously, XLRI is expertise, and it will be a mix of master classes, workshops, project reviews, interactions, networking, and overseas project opportunities. The industry interface, given the experience and reputation that a few of us bring, okay, we will actually be able to go across to heads of design and studios as faculty. We'll look at automaker and design studio projects, workshops, symposia, product demonstrations, executive programs and refreshers. The overall pedagogy, this is important to understand, the overall pedagogy would be co-created with people from the industry, with people from the world of design. Okay, only then will this actually work. Only will this actually be relevant, and we will actually be able to press all the hot buttons, okay, which my friends from the design community, which my friends from the automotive industry have given me as feedback to make this program happen. Lastly, the vision that we have is at some point of time, I don't know, 15, 20 years from now, we hopefully would be able to create something called the Indian design DNA. Okay, so when we talk about Italian flair, French quirkiness, Japanese harmony, German balance, when we talk about Indian, do we really have any word, any fixed word or any common word that comes to the mind? Not really. Jugaad, yes. Jugaad is, I guess, we sometimes try to make it complimentary, which is very unfortunate. Okay, we shouldn't make, because Jugaad is out of compulsion and it's not out of choice. Okay. Yeah. So it's like, you need to set up a system where Jugaad cannot be seen as the possible go-to solution. Frugal engineering, of course. Frugal engineering is a fundamental of the basic engineering ethos, for sure. The long-term objective will be to help create an Indian style of designing automobiles that helps create a distinct form factor as well as carry that sensitivity into global projects. We made some key decisions for the school. It will be a not-for-profit school. It will be based in Delhi NCR in the Jhajjar campus of XLRI. It will be co-created. Okay, so it will, as I explained, it will be collaborative in the sense, after this, actually my work starts because I need to now go out and raise money for this. Okay, and raising money would be both in cash as well as kind. So if someone comes across to me and tells me that I'm going to set up your 3D lab for you, most welcome. So that's how it will be collaborative for us. It will be for the greater good. Okay, as Father Casimir explained, there's nothing that XLRI does which does not have that social impact perspective in mind. Okay, actually at the ground level. We're looking at this project finally taking shape and happening for all of you by the middle or the end of 2025. And our journey starts now. Thank you very much once again for all of you to be here. We have there are friends who could not be here. There are friends who plan to be here, but they've sent in their messages. So,
industry has come of stature in so many ways, and you don't need to measure stature with the units sold. It's got a certain maturity to the process. And one of the key things which we see now, even with some of the better known international brands, they are shifting their design focus to India, processes, human resources, and what have you. The first look at a car or a motorcycle invariably is the key and the trigger that puts that car or motorcycle in the short list of a consumer who wants to park his money somewhere. And I think that design plays an intrinsic role there. There's a certain intangibility about passion, about enthusiasm, and whatnot. And when you talk about design, I don't mean just the external styling of the car. Design has got to do with proportions, it's got to do with the stance of the vehicle, it's got to do with the packaging, both the mechanical front, the passenger, usable passenger space in the cabin, and also the luggage which is required. We need to talk about ergonomics, we need to talk touch and feel, craftsmanship, so on and so forth. So, how does someone get into becoming a designer which understands what needs to be done with that brand, what needs are specific to that brand's DNA, also what is the model and its characteristics? In the words of the great Marcello Gandini, the man who designed so many of the famous Lamborghinis of the early era, especially the seminal Miura, he says that you got to learn, read everything about not just what you are seeing right now, but also what was there before and thinking maybe 20 years ahead. I think this new initiative of XLRI, along with Avik Chattopadhyay being a key cog there to create INDEA, a design center to teach automotive design with India as a focus to youngsters, will play a big role. And if they can get this aspect of that design DNA right, the thing which I spoke about, sensibilities, characteristics, brand DNA, etc., then I think you will have an all new brand of designers from India. And let me tell you, there are certain designers from India who have already made a big mark globally. There is Pratap Bose, which so many of you know. There's Ajay Saran Sharma, so many of you know. You have heard about Rustam Mazda, who is one of the top honchos in designing cutting edge sports cars for Pininfarina. You've got Swaroop Roy from Renault. You've got many such instances. Let India take over the world in automotive design as well. And for this, I wish XLRI and Avik Chattopadhyay all success.
Buongiorno ragazzi, io vi sto parlando dalla mia fabbrica dei sogni. In questa fabbrica, che io chiamo così, ci sono tutti i miei sogni realizzati. È una cosa che auguro anche a voi, specialmente dopo la notizia che Gautam mi ha dato della creazione di un istituto di design in India. Questa è una grande opportunità per i ragazzi, per potersi esprimere per il loro futuro. Io auguro a tutti i partecipanti che riescano a realizzare i propri sogni. Ci vuole costanza, ci vuole determinazione, ci vuole convinzione e credere nei propri sogni. Tanti auguri per un buon proseguimento. Grazie. Vi sto parlando dalla mia fabbrica dei sogni. Questo è il posto in cui io ho creato tutte le mie cose, in cui ho vissuto, e qui ci sono tutte le mie realizzazioni. È una cosa che auguro anche a voi tutti, se frequenterete questo istituto di design di cui mi ha informato Gautam, e credo che sia un'opportunità in India per i ragazzi indiani di poter realizzare le proprie idee. L'India ha un grande potenziale di risorse giovani e sarà il loro futuro, quindi è opportuno questa scuola, credo che sia un buon inizio e un buon proseguimento che auguro a tutti voi con gran soddisfazione e ammirazione per l'iniziativa. Grazie.
this is a message from Senga-san. Says, I'm very happy that this automobile design school is being set up. India is a very big market and customers are very mature, so it is the right time. The design of inside the box is as important as the outside of the box. Tomorrow's designers have to learn to balance four things: safety for all occupants and also pedestrians, energy, economy built into the design, functionality depending on application and type of usage, and the corporate's brand image and overall business objectives. Design for tomorrow has to be a blend of artistic flair with social responsibility. In this context, what you and XLRI wish to create is very important for India and the world. I wish both of you all the very best and look forward to visiting it soon. Best wishes, Kozo Senga.
The Indian auto industry is poised to go for so much of a growth, and the design aspect has always been, the need of the art way. In this note, the effort by Avik is amazing in that direction. I wish him the best, and I'm sure the students who come out of this would always be coming up with many Aviks in this country, which will take to the best thing in the world. Wishing all the best, Avik, and all the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayush. While we have all seen the logo for India, namely the Indian School for Design of Automobiles, I will still request our mentors, Justice Banerjee ma'am and Ivy Rao sir, to ceremonially unveil it. Thank you very much, ma'am and sir. And now, I request Father Casimir and Mr. Avik to exchange the MOU for the establishment of INDEA, the Indian School for Design of Automobiles. Thank you very much, Father and Mr. Avik. Now, I request Ayush to please share some more messages.
Design is increasingly becoming a strong differentiator today. In fact, design is often a make or break for a consumer. That's why we need to build our own design capability and an Indian design DNA. The automobile industry in India is world-class in most aspects, but design is still the last frontier. So in that context, the proposed design school, INDEA, is a fantastic strategic initiative. And I wish XLRI and Avik all the very best for this exciting new initiative.
Si sente sempre più parlare di India nel settore dell'automotive design e l'ultima notizia è quella della nuova scuola INDEA con un corso di stile. E mi voglio congratulare con XLRI, con Mr. Avik e Mr. Gautam che è mentore di questa iniziativa. Non vedo l'ora di venirvi a trovare e nell'occasione date un'occhiata al nostro sito web studiotorino.com che magari potrete trovare anche qualche informazione necessaria per i vostri studi. Un saluto, ciao, a presto.
There is a message from Saito-san. Avik, congratulations on establishment of the Auto Design School. Automobile industry of the world is going to the direction that exterior interior design of the car is more important than the past, since driving performance of the cars cannot be a significant USP of each product under the trend of less CO2 development. We welcome the movement of this establishment, particularly as it happens in India, that is our home country.
Dear Avik, congratulations for this new initiative of creating the Indian School of Design and Automobiles. As always, the idea, the branding is so apt, and I'm sure there is a need for this, and this new initiative will fulfill the needs in the market to ensure that the right sort of talent comes to the industry. I am traveling abroad and hence I am not able to come and be with you on this special day, but my wishes are with you. Wish you all the best and also all the best to the institution that you are creating together with XLRI. So best wishes and have a great success. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Like every initiative that has a core team to help convert a dream into reality, Project India has a core team of 9 people, each playing a crucial role in its intended success. Father Casimir as Director of XLRI Delhi NCR, Justice Banerjee as a mentor, Rao Sir as a mentor, Mr. Gautam Sen as a mentor. He couldn't be in our midst today. Dr. Rajiv Roy for academics, Professor Sambit Rath as project coordinator, Mr. Suresh Ramasubramanian for corporate coordination and fundraising, Professor Paramjot Singh for everything legal, Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay, founder of INDEA, the person who brings everyone together to make it happen.
Suresh, Sambit, can we please have you on stage, please? Sambit, please. क्या बोला? There's no balance of color. That's okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. I would now request Justice Banerjee ma'am to grace the gathering with a few words.
Father Casimir, Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay, Mr. I.V. Rao, Mr. Rajiv Roy, the dynamic parents of Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay, Mrs. Monica Chattopadhyay and Mr. S.N. Chattopadhyay, and every one of you present here today. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be present here on this wonderful occasion. I also thank you for including me in an institution which is innovative in India. I am possibly the only one who has very little to do with automobiles, except perhaps as a consumer of automobiles. And I belong to a generation where for years and years we had the good old ambassador. And the same shape, the same design. Perhaps, you know, when I was a kid, you had the Landmaster, and then the Landmaster became the ambassador. Mark I, then Mark II, Mark III, and after that I don't know. I started driving an ambassador. It was a little difficult. The steerings, you didn't have the power steerings which you have today. From the ambassador, I switched on to a Maruti 800. That was the first car I owned, so something common with Avik. Avik started his career with Maruti. The first car I purchased was a Maruti. The difference is that I'm still using a Maruti. Of course, on Avik's advice. I take this opportunity to congratulate XLRI on 75 years of its glorious existence. It is a coincidence that the institution from which I retired in the year 1922 also enters 75th year of its establishment. That is the Supreme Court of India, which was established on 28th January 1950. I am basically a person of law with a specialization and love for the Constitution of India. The Constitution of India was adopted by the people of India in 1949. What a wonderful coincidence. XLRI has been a champion, I would say, of leadership, excellence, and ethics in business activities, in the arena of business management. When it completes 75th year, and incidentally the Indian Republic also enters its 75th year, that XLRI and Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay should set up this institution, which is novel so far as this country is concerned. It is subject to correction, the first institution of its kind in India. And I haven't the slightest doubt that it will be an institution which will give utmost importance to leadership, to excellence, and to ethics. For lay persons like me, or persons with some practice, perhaps in intellectual property law, and a person who has also delivered some judgments in intellectual property law. Design is a shape, a pattern applied to an object. I remember an interesting case which I had to handle. That was of a design which was otherwise very simple. There was no novelty in that design. But it was applied for the first time to glass in India. And we held that it would be entitled to the protection of the Designs Act, because the design may be common, but no one else had done the same thing on glass. It may have been done on cloth, which is different altogether. Now, so far as designs are concerned, what is suitable varies from product to product. You have designs for the perfume bottles, which I'm sure the lovely ladies must be using. You have designs for the alcohol bottles, which many of you must be loving. And I'm also reminded of my mother, who on one occasion said, "You have the whiskey, but please give me the bottle." It was a bottle of King of Kings. But so far as automobiles are concerned, automobile designing is it's very different from other kinds of designs. And I congratulate Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay for conceiving the idea of setting up an institution here for automobile designing. When a consumer, a lay consumer like me, decides to buy a car, one would not only look at the design from outside, which is very important, the aesthetics, but also the utility, the design. How disabled friendly is it? With age, my limbs are not agile as it used to be 5 years ago. So I need a vehicle which looks nice and at the same time is easy to get into. When I was a lawyer, initially, I needed a vehicle with a huge, what do you call that? Dicky? Boot, the boot, where one could dump one's briefs and books. Today times have changed. You have all the books in a little iPad. You also have papers in a little iPad. So perhaps the huge boots are only necessary when you're traveling from one place to another with lots of clothes and other things. Similarly, the design would also depend on the age and profile of the customer who is going in for the product. The youngsters would prefer one kind of design, one kind of utility. In a country like India, you have to, I'm in Delhi now, but I actually belong to Calcutta. And parking in the city of Calcutta requires some skill. The way a car is parked, almost touching the next car. So there, I think smaller cars with more leg space, enough space to carry, would be in greater demand. Now, when you design, you have to have the consumers in mind. You have to have the country in mind, the place, different places of the country in mind. And of course, you won't be designing vehicles only for your own country. You would want to become an exporter, exporting your vehicles outside. Therefore, you have to have different kinds of designs depending on the customers who are going to purchase the designs, purchase the automobiles. I congratulate you once again on this very momentous occasion when you establish an institution which is the first of its kind, which will hopefully take the country forward. I refer to my association with Maruti and with Mr. Avik Chattopadhyay. Now, I may not have directly been associated with XLRI, but incidentally, I was a regular counsel for St. Xavier's College and St. Xavier's School. And for those who are here from St. Xavier's, I have a very interesting anecdote. Those of you from St. Xavier's School, Calcutta, may have heard of a clerk by the name of Mr. Chung, who was associated with St. Xavier's School for many, many years. Now, he was caught of some misconduct. He was caught red-handed, after which it was Father Brylance who came to give evidence in a court of law. Sorry, it is a court of law. It was before the industrial tribunal because he had raised a dispute. When he raised the dispute, he said that he had actually not resigned. He had been compelled to resign. He said he had been taught, the institution had lodged a complaint against him. He was kept in the lockup, the Park Street police station, where he was beaten up. Now, during the examination, Father said, I have taken my oath, I am not going to lie. So when he was asked that, was he beaten up by the police? He said, yes. I said, oh my God, the case is gone. So I had to ask the next question. Did you see him get beaten up? Then he said, no. I only lodged the complaint and came away. Ultimately, St. Xavier's won the case. There were other interesting cases with the School of Cinematography set up in Calcutta, where some students who had not cleared the exam alleged that the projectors were not working properly. Ultimately, so there were cases of this kind basically. Just as the schools, the colleges, the other institutions, and of course XLRI has excelled, I'm confident that with collaboration of XLRI, Avik, and all of you here, Mr. Rao, Mr. Roy, all the mentors, the teachers, designers, this institution will be a success. The country will be proud of this institution, and it will become a leader in automobile business. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to a complete novice.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to request Ivy Rao, sir, to please speak a few words on this momentous occasion.
Justice Indira Banerjee, Father KCM, Mr. Rajiv Roy, and my friend Mr. Avik, whom I consider as a moving encyclopedia of everything. I am very happy to be here for this event to announce the initiative of Mr. Avik with his alma mater, XLRI, for building a world-class design school for automobile design. I am Vice President of Society of Automobile Engineers in India, which is an affiliate of SAE International, Detroit. And SAE India has identified the skill gap between students coming out of the colleges and the industry expectations as the core area for improvement and development. For that, SAE India Education Board is trying to bring students, make them aware of what's happening in the industry, the various technology which are changing fast in auto industry through various technical courses, and also organize various student competitions to make them aware of the whole process of automobile, from design to actual fabrication of the prototype, and also making it go through various aspects of testing, and finally the endurance trial. We have different types of vehicles identified for these things. We have Baha, which is a SUV type of concept vehicle. We have Supra, which is a Formula 1 type of vehicle. And we have FE cycle and many other competitions which are being organized every year. So this makes all these students go through the various aspects of new product design and also work as a team to deliver various requirements to make the product in time for participation in the final event. SAE India Supra event happens, final endurance trial happens in Buddha International Circuit, and students are thrilled to drive the vehicles on this test track. So, though the students as such are very, very keen to learn more than what is being taught in the colleges, but the institutes and the faculty are not very keen and are aligned. And also based on whatever we analyzed, we need threefold change to be brought into our education system. One, especially with reference to engineering for auto industry, the upgradation of curriculum to align with the technology what is current in the industry, and the more skilled faculty or qualified faculty to teach the students, and lastly the teaching methods. In many colleges, the way students are taught is same as what I was taught in my college some 50 years back. So the teaching methods are not aligned with what is the current generation students can do better. So we need to bring in a lot of change in the way things are taught. Of course, this is a very tough task and need wholehearted support of the institutes and the industry, which would be beneficial for all the stakeholders, the industry, institutes, academia, and the most importantly, the students. Ultimately, the industry will get benefited out of all these things. Today, we are here to announce the joint initiative of Mr. Avik and XLRI at their NCR campus in Jajjar. What I had mentioned as gap in skill levels in case of fresh graduate engineers applies to designers also. We do not have any design school specially focusing on automobile design. There are many gaps as the students are not exposed to how the design ideation etc. done gets translated into scale models and what are the various processes used for making various components and what is good for manufacturing, what material should be considered while design. This knowledge is essential to design the part also from manufacturing ease. I hope this initiative will fill these gaps and offer designers who will be well-rounded, and also being housed in along with the Management Institute XLRI, the designers could also acquire management skills for efficient new model development, which is very crucial for the success of the model. Timely completion of a model for launching is very, very important in very competitive auto industry. I am very happy that I am associated with this project as a mentor. Would like to thank Mr. Avik and the Institute for giving me this opportunity to achieve through this initiative what SAE India Education Board is trying to do for engineering, graduate engineers by grooming designers to meet all the expectations of the auto industry. I hope this project gets executed efficiently and brings in experts from industry continuously to add more practical insights into the course. My congratulations to Mr. Avik and XLRI Institute for this much needed initiative. And of course, my best wishes for successful commissioning of this course and achieve the goals what we have decided. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Gautam Sen, a 1984 alumnus and third mentor, has sent his message on the occasion. I request Ayush to play the same.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Father Kashmir, and good afternoon, Avik Chattopadhyay. As many of you know, Avik and me go back a long way, and we have been discussing this project for a while now. And I think it's kind of overdue. The fact that India could do with a really good design institute, one that would be probably not just one of the best, but should be one of the best in the world. And the fact that I say so because India today is the second largest producers of vehicles of both two-wheelers and cars in the world after China, and more than what the US makes. Especially when it comes to two-wheelers, motorcycles. And the fact that not only when we talk about make in India, we should also be talking about design in India. And that's important. The most interesting thing is that maybe I should tell you a little about myself. The fact that I've always been crazy about cars since I was a kid. And as a teenager, I wanted to be a designer, like many of you here probably, or others otherwise. But I couldn't, because at that point of time in the 1970s, there were no design school in India that taught automobile design. So I went and I did economics, and then I did my business management in XLRI Jamshedpur, which, as we all know, is one of India's best. And that gave me my first job with Maruti Udyog, the same place where Avik joined years later. And Maruti in 1984 was a brand new company. And that gave me the leg up for all that I did later on in terms of editing India's first automobile magazine and being involved with several design projects with some of the design giants of the world, people like Marcello Gandini, Tom Jada, Gerard Godefroy. I've also known and been friends with people like Ercole Spada and Paolo Martin, amongst others. And all that's been possible because of, I think, XLRI and the kind of education I had. I do believe that this design school will become one of the most important, one of the most relevant and significant in the future. And I wish it all the best. And I really hope that maybe they will accept me as a student in the future.
Thank you, Ayush. Now, if you could please share some more messages of encouragement and support.
Dear friends, the Indian automobile industry has become world-class in every aspect of business. Be it production, engineering, supply chain, I think we are right up there. I think there is one final frontier which needs to be conquered, and that is design. At Kia India, design is one of our key pillars of our overall strategy. And we firmly believe that one of the key reasons for success of Kia in India has been the design language. It's not only the exterior design, but the interior design as well. And which has helped us to achieve the fastest 1 million on the Indian roads. I heard this idea about the design school, the initiative between Avik and XLRI, the idea called INDEA. And I firmly believe this is a brilliant idea, and this will help us in conquering the final frontier of design. So I wish Avik and XLRI all the very best, and I really look forward to see the progress and making design in India now one of the best in the world. Thank you.
Buonasera Mr. Gautam, voglio farle le mie congratulazioni per l'iniziativa di INDEA, di cui lei è stato il mentore. Auguro a tutti il successo di questa iniziativa e spero che l'industria indiana gli dia un supporto e che sia anche utile a questa. Mi auguro, buonasera.
I'll read out this message from Ivo Groen, the VP and the head of creative design at Link. When I think of India, I think of the beauty and the youth of the people, the vibrant colors and spices and amazing culinary variety found in the most populated country of our small planet. I also see a unique visual identity composed by the variety of landscapes, architectures, and different cultural backgrounds. This dynamic place moves around by all things invented on wheels, with most of the automobiles manufactured locally to world-class standards. To move on to the next level of mobility, all is lined up to express India's strong DNA through equally strong design to be applied to the industrial capacity and engineering prowess already in place. Thank you, Avik, for your energy and drive to accomplish this great venture together with the faculty from the renowned XLRI Business School. Might I dare coin the phrase, good design is good business. I would even suggest that well-designed consumer products are intimately responsible for creating a sustainable future, especially when it comes to transportation design, of which car design still fosters our global passion for freedom and independence. Have a wonderful kickoff on the 4th of March. I will be thinking of you and hopefully be able to join India in the near future, a future designed to be fantastic for India.
Hi Avik, this is Anil here. This is wonderful news. Great, this is what you were once researching into, I gather. I have got my cataract operation done, hence this recorded message instead of sending it a typed one or a verbal one, because I can't read or write these days. My good wishes for the affair and continued success for the institute. I would love to be associated with the institute in some ways or the other. We will talk maybe in due course. Thank you.
Automobiles are at an exponential rate being embedded with highly advanced technologies, leading some schools of thought saying that they are increasingly becoming computers on wheels. But I believe not just mundane boxes on wheels, because that enchantment, that special psychological connection between man and automobile continues to be enabled by that unique skill set that exists with automotive designers. That is why I am extremely excited about this initiative, INDEA, which I believe is a great institution that would create world-class automotive designers who would leverage the incredible uniqueness of India, integrate that with highly advanced technologies, and come up with amazing world-class automotive designs. And I'm very excited to have an opportunity to be part of this amazing initiative.
Thank you, Ayush. We would love to hear from the industry leaders, thought leaders, and design leaders amongst us. Over to you, Mr. Avik.
Thank you, Shan. While these are the people who couldn't be here, there are so many of you here who've actually taken time out to be part of this. And it would be extremely unfair of me not to hear you. And so we have a couple of mics with us, and I would actually start with, not because you're sitting on the front row, Ajay, but I'll start with you, given the fact that Adil actually spoke of you as one of India's leading global designers. So that's Ajay Saran Sharma for you, Head of Design at Mahindra, ex-Head of Design at Tata Motors.
Thanks, Avik, for the kind words. I don't know if I deserve them. I've just tried to stay with the profession honestly and as truly as I could. All the best to you and XLRI for this endeavor. We'd spoken a couple of years ago and you dropped some hints about where you were going with this, and I was waiting with a lot of anticipation for this day, to be honest. I think going forward as a vision, there have been many design schools and there are still a few that are go-to. And interestingly, many of these go-to schools are the ones that were established right at the start of the profession globally. And I would want to see this school as being one of those, So an absolutely go-to place because it's done the right things at the right time and exists in a geography that is going to be relevant globally for many, many years to come. I think our context in the way we use things, in the way we perceive things, is now slowly being understood by the world. Automotive, you've heard me say this so many times, cars are not inherent to us as a culture, but I see that as a huge benefit because there are no shackles to unlearn or throw away. Just like Japan took automotive culture and made it its own, I think this would be, and I see this as the first step in that direction. So all the very best, and I'm really super excited and available for you to draw on in any way you want.
Thanks, Ajay. Thanks a lot. So now to a person who's sitting in the last row, Sergius. You're sitting in the last row and you've been quiet. Of course, you've been quiet because we've been doing all the talking. So we'd love to hear from you. Sergius Barreto,
editor of Autocar India.
Hi, Avik. Thanks. It's managing editor at Autocar India. Just
Managing editor.
My boss hears that. But no, Avik, congratulations to you and XLRI, to Father and to the teachers and everyone. At Autocar, you know, we place a lot of emphasis, I'm sure when you read our reviews on, you know, because you like driving on driving, but then it's very often followed up by styling. So it's really good to see that India would be sort of getting a boost in the styling area, because I think, as everyone said this earlier, in India we've got manufacturing now, we've got the whole ecosystem in terms of component supply, exports, all of that happening. Design was perhaps the last kind of frontier or the last bastion of the auto industry left to tick mark, and I think this is really good that you've put us on that check sheet. So all the very best to all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Urjus. I'll come to one of my, you know, co-journeymen through my years in the industry, Gyaneshwar Sen. Dada, a few words from you. We joined Maruti together in 1991, so we're like batchmates.
So Avik and I joined Maruti on the same day, and we have, of course, worked together. And since we parted ways in Maruti, we have kept in regular touch. And I do remember you sharing in one of our meets about India, and I think it is something that India really requires. As everybody else has mentioned, I'm just repeating, we have not yet created in India, we're just manufacturing in India. So this is the need of the hour, and I wish you the very best. And one thing which is coming to my mind based on my experience, design is a part of R&D in many companies. And apart from Mahindra and Tata, every other company has a foreign parent. So R&D is often a bit secretive. So I think one of the challenges that you'll have to overcome is that how do the companies, and they themselves will benefit the most out of it, are open enough to kind of collaborate with India so that it becomes the go-to place for design. And I wish you all the best, and I do look forward to visiting your campus, Father, and along with Avik, once it's ready, and all the very best.
Thank you, Dada. What you said is so right. I'll now go across to someone who was in school with me, Suparna. We were in school together. We go back to what, 1982, 1983?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know much about the automobile industry, but from my experience with my own business, I think design is a very important part of any business. And I think that one of the reasons why my own company was successful was because we focused on design more than anything else. So I think we were the first company in our business to actually export our products to Western countries, you know, to the US, Europe, Germany being one of them. And I think design was a very major part of it. And so I'm excited to see what you're doing with this, you know, institute, Avik. I think that's all I can say. I don't have much to say about the automobile.
Thanks for being here, Suparna. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate.
It was my pleasure.
Okay, in our midst we have a wonderful teacher, okay, whom we've always looked upon, you know, when we were students, and she continues to teach, which is so amazing. Renu ma'am, a few words from you.
Yes, it is amazing because I'm almost 80, so that's what he means. My my association with automobile vehicles is when I won the prize for the best female driver for the All India Highway Motor Rally way back in 1972.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Avik has been a wonderful student and friend, and Suresh sitting there. Where are you, Arvind? It is, hi Arvind, hi. And then Shan over here. These are all my darling students, and I'm so proud to see them here, so proud to be here. Avik, I wish you all the very best. XLRI, of course, is my institute, so naturally, Father, I wish it all the very best. And Avik, my Mubaraks to your parents. I hope they are still over there. Monica, Satyan, all the very best. Thank you, Avik.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. When I've done 2 stints in Maruti, in 91 to 94, and then 2001 to 2004. And when I rejoined in 2001, I had as a boss one of the most erudite and softly spoken people I've actually come across in my professional life. Arun Malhotra sir. Okay, he's an amazing personality. Okay, people actually call him to all parts of the country just to listen to him, just to listen to the way he speaks and the way he conducts discussions. People actually come to see the conductor and the moderator. They're not really bothered about who's speaking on the panel. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Avik. I don't think I deserve what you're saying, all the praise. But I must compliment you and what you mentioned in your presentation, that India, if it has to make in India, it has to design India. And that's an area which you're not focused at all on. And why I think XLRI is a great institute, and Avik, I've known you over time. You have passion, you have intensity, and you have this head for design, and I'm sure this will be a unique initiative. This is a gap in the industry which you should fulfill, and you'll be there to lead the baton. So clearly you'll require a lot of support, a lot of guidance, and it's a new initiative. It's like going to the moon, Neil Armstrong stepping on moon as far as India is concerned. So all the best to you.
Thank you, sir, and I need all of your support. Another very dear friend of mine from the world of design, not specifically automobiles, but I've been associated with him for a few years, a bit intensely now, and he's taught me a lot. Sudhir Sharma. He's an incredible person. He runs this company called INDEA Design. He runs this platform called Design India. Okay, one of the Indian automobile industry's most revered persons, Rajiv Bajaj, swears by him. Over to you, Sudhir.
Thank you. First, congratulations. This was really a surprise. He just sent me a message saying, you have to be here and something new is happening. And I'm glad this is happening. Why? Because while on one hand, I've been in design since 1989, since I graduated from NID, I see there's a lot of work happening in automobile design. Lot of talent, lots and lots of, I think, millions of engineers and designers actually working in world-class work. I had the opportunity of lecturing to a global R&D, 4,000 people of a luxury car maker, when I got to know confidentially that perhaps the most expensive luxury car in production today is designed in Bangalore and in Pune. Lots and lots of talent, and I know what is happening at Mahindra, Tata, Hyundai, so many places. But all that has been beneath the surface. It's like the water has been boiling, and I see that is now coming up and taking shape in this, and I'm so glad that you're doing this. Fantastic effort. It is needed. Design in India is definitely the next round we have to go to. But just one thing before I stop, I think there's a lot of confusion about what is design. When you say design, what do you actually mean? And there's a lot of references to materials and surfaces and styling and finish and how something looks. I think that's some confusion you will have to clear, and our industry is actually deep into this confusion. Design for me, for years, has meant pre-planning something. If you pre-plan a building, you're designing a building. If you pre-plan a business, you're designing a business. If you pre-plan a brand, you're designing a brand. If you pre-plan automobile, and pre-planning actually includes everything. It's research, it's materials, it's engineering, it's production. And I'm so glad that you will take this up and you will bring it up. We have a lot of talent which actually needs to become productive into the industry, which we have. And congratulations to you and to XLRI. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Oh yes, you have to be here, Sudhir. I mean, you have to be here with us when the school comes up, because you are actually such a treasure trove. And yeah, don't take that mic away too far, because sitting next to Sudhir is Kaushal. Okay, and I've always found him extremely dapper when it comes to dressing, right, Sudhir? Yeah. So he's like what Ajay. You should take cues on attire. Well, all of us should. Okay. So Kaushal is the head of design at Hyundai, India. So over to you, Kaushal.
Thank you, Avik. First of all, very much I'm happy to see this initiative, and many congratulations to you and the team. About the attire, actually designers, they carry themselves. I mean, you are a designer, you experiment on yourself. So I would like to say I love to buy things not very much branded, but which looks good on me. Okay, only the thing which I buy branded is shoes. So I have almost 75 pairs of sneakers. So I believe design starts from like when you wake up in the morning. It is everything you do, it is design. Like automotive is something which is very emotional. We have to take it to the personality. I mean, if somebody is buying a car, it should match to their personality. It reflects their emotions. So one side is the emotion, and second side is the user experience. That is very important, because if you talk about the India is a country with the diverse audience. If you move 100 kilometers away from here, dialect will change, food will change, their habits will change. And one automotive, one car interior, one car, how it is going to serve that audience. So somehow, I think the new designers, they had to go back to the time. They have to do basic research, not just sitting on the desk where they just find out something on Google and they say this is what is happening. I think this is not the fact. You go, you meet people, you live their life, and then design something. And I think, Avik, we discussed this point when we met last in winters, right? And that time I didn't know about the initiative, but yeah, I mean, today is surprise. So again, I think it is a very huge topic to discuss about automotive design. But again, I think I'll just end my topic on this note, that design is from morning to till you sleep. I mean, it takes everywhere. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Kaushal. Thanks a lot. Okay. Coming to a person who over the last few years I've interacted. I've had occasions to interact a bit more and more with him, especially because we're part of the same awards jury. Ashish, extremely passionate about everything automotive because he's an automotive journalist, but would love to hear from you.
That was a surprise, but yeah, it's been a pleasure knowing you as well. And over the past few years, we have been interacting on some panels. And we have had some very interesting conversations about design as well. Everybody has said the same things that I'm just going to kind of repeat, unfortunately. But it's not only about how a car looks, it's about how a car talks to the consumers. And it's not only about the exterior styling, it's also about how it makes you feel on the inside. And it goes beyond just the surface style execution. It is also about the kind of materials that you use. It's about how you touch and feel and how you feel with the car when you're interacting with it. And that is something on a sensibility level, on a sensitivity level, is very, very crucial, and something that the budding designers of tomorrow will have to kind of soak themselves in. And again, the initiative, yes, India has really not had a great history with this topic, and this initiative is going to direct people in the right direction. We have needed this for a while, and kudos to you, kudos to XLRI for coming together with you on this initiative. And I can only, as people from the press, we always try and find out some hard-hitting questions to ask the executives, but no questions over here. It's just heartfelt congratulations, great emotions, and I just wish you all the success. It is something that we've all needed, and yeah, all the very best.
Thanks, Ashish. Thanks a lot. Well, I guess it is 2 o'clock, so I'll just request a couple of other people. I'll go across to a person who does something very interesting. He actually runs an automobile art platform. Okay, and he took over from his father, who was one of the most respected names when it came to automobile restoration, a company called United Restorations. And he runs a very interesting automobile art platform called Cartist. Okay, Himanshu Jangir, he's come down all the way from Jaipur, driven down all the way from Jaipur. I've tried to help him unsuccessfully many times, but he's actually been an inspiration to me as to when people really have incredible passion in what they believe in. So Himanshu believes in the fact that he has to build in India the sensitivity and the sensibility of automobile art. And he's created this platform called Cartist. He spends all his money without getting too much of sponsorships in doing the Cartist Yatra year after year after year. He is always there at every auto expo, putting up this huge show, trying to inculcate in average Indians the appreciation for basic aesthetics. Over to you, Himanshu.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Avik, and thank you for mentoring us for so many years and trying to get the automobile industry to support the initiative what we are doing. I will meet you for sure. Avik been one of our mentors who've been writing to all the automobile industry people to support an initiative which is trying to build an automobile art culture in India. I still believe India is new to automobile because we are just 40 years old, what I believe, when Maruti come into the picture, and we were able to see some new models, like ma'am was saying, Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, so on. So Cartist has helped to bring artist community together to create what they are seeing around automobile in India. We are fortunate and thankful to Siam and Avik for bringing us to Auto Expo, where we will be able to bring artists from across India and showcase what India has a potential, where India can see as automobile with automobile art, and with design, what he's doing is hats off to him and give him more courage and more support so that we can see this coming up very soon. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Himanshu. Don't worry, like your Cartist Yatra, I'll also be going on an India Yatra very soon. Okay. We have in our midst, Ajay Kaul, my senior, super senior. He is also on the board of governors of XLRI. Would love to hear from you.
Hi everybody. Firstly, hearty congratulations to XLRI, which is very close to my heart. And Avik, we have never met before, and you put me on a spot here. Look, I have nothing to do with automobile design. Years ago, I used to work for Domino's Pizza, and at that time, a lot of my time went into crafting the design aspect of service, and which over a period of time evolved into what I call design thinking approach to a service. And often I would be intrigued about how tough it must be to design, real tangible things like an automobile and so on. But I was always wonder. So here it is now, you are doing something magical and something so different. And I will be personally very intrigued and enthused to come and see what exactly happens there. As a member of the Board of Governors, it gives me immense pride, Father Casimir, to craft, you know, an institute which promises to be eventually world-class and one of its own kind. Honestly, when I walked in today, I was thinking that shouldn't such a collaboration have happened with, while XLRI is close to my heart, with, let's say, an IIT or some automobile institute. And having been to one of the IITs myself, I thought, I'm surprised why it's happening in a business school and not a hardcore engineering institution. And little did I know that, you know, there is no such design school in the whole of the country. I mean, I was actually surprised to hear that. So look, all the very best from multiple, you know, positions which I can come from. I am happy as a student and alumni that my institute is reached this stage of creating something which can be world-class. Alumni like you know, distinguished in all ways, is bringing glory to the institute and probably will become a name to reckon with in times to come as one of the global design experts in the whole world. That gives me immense joy. And finally, thanks for putting me on the spot. I had no clue I had to speak today. But thank you.
Well, you did pretty well. Thank you so much. You know, you asked a very pertinent question because last year we had gone across and met the chairman of one of India's leading conglomerates, business conglomerates, and he asked me just that one single question: that why did you not go to an NID or an IIT? I gave him an answer. I said, well, they didn't think of it before. I did. And if they thought it would be important enough, they would have done it by now. But obviously the thing is not important enough. Because transportation design or automobile design is one of the possibly 21 courses that they teach. This is going to be completely dedicated only to automobile design. And also this is a master's program. This is a super specialization program. So as I was taking, I alluded to the IPL. So this is not in any conflict with any existing design institute in the country. This basically takes the best out of what comes out from the design institutes, okay, and prepares them and nurtures them into being truly, truly world-class. That is the objective. I would go to another super senior of mine, Mr. P.C. Mehra, who's taken his time out to come here and be with us. Sir, a few words from you.
Hi Avik, if you had put Ajay in a spot, I'm in a bigger pit. I didn't realize that I was going to be roped in. But I was telling Suresh when we were chatting outside that I belong to an ancient batch of 71. And he said, sir, ancient to hum hai. In that case, we are archaic. But coming to your venture, Avik, incredible idea, incredible approach of Excel to join in hands with you. In fact, coincidentally, I was at the XLRI campus, NCR campus, just last Saturday. Long overdue visit, when Father shared with us the vision of XLRI NCR campus, having acquired more land to build your project, is one of the mainstays of the new expansion that XLRI NCR is contemplating on. Alluding to what Justice Indira Banerjee said about driving an ambassador, I had a similar experience. I'd grown up driving, seeing a Fiat at home. And my first acquisition when I started working post XLRI was also a second-hand Fiat. Subsequently, I got moved to Bombay. The company decided to give me a car, and I told my wife, I hope it's a Fiat, because Bombay is a city of Fiat. And lo and behold, I join office on Monday and I walk into the president's office and he says, "Welcome Pramod, my first name." And he hands me over a key and he said, "This is your Gaudi." I said, "Okay." And I step out after meeting him and I said, "Kaun si gaadi hai bhai?" And I see it's an ambassador. I said, "Hi, mar gaye." Driving in Bombay for the first time, having driven all along in Delhi, and driving an ambassador, मैंने कहा ये कहाँ फंसा दिया मुझे, ट्रक पकड़ा दिया बम्बई में. But anyway, fact of the matter is, I had a wonderful experience. I had a wonderful stint at XLRI. We are talking about your starting a venture. And I was mentioning to Father Casimir the other day, that we, the batch of 71, when we graduated, as a part of one of our electives, we had a course on marketing strategy. And we had a professor who came in from the US. And he got us started into a project. Basically, upliftment of the rural strata. And the base was Father McGrath's Chaibasa. He said, develop this into a project using marketing as a tool. How do we uplift the living conditions of the people around Chaibasa and make them sustainable? You talked about sustainability. Sustainable because the farmer is exposed to the vigors of nature and he is in trouble all the time. And so Father McGrath, when he took us around Chaibasa, we saw that. And we used strategy to evolve a pattern. The point I'm trying to allude is, today, 55 years since I graduated, we conceived of a project as a startup, when startups were unheard of as a concept, as a word. We had no venture capitalists. And our venture capitalist was who? Mr. J.R.D. Tata, who got the local community industry of Jamshedpur to fund our project. And that was set up as an SBU in XLRI, called the Food Marketing Center. And now, drawing a parallel, we are now having your INDEA come up in XLRI is a fantastic initiative. I think life has come full circle as far as I'm concerned. I was involved in a startup in XLRI as FMC, and I see you starting an SBU or a design center or an entity, whatever you may call. So all the very best, Avik, all the very best, Father, in this initiative, and our best wishes. As I said, we are archaic, but we are pleased to see the Excel flag flying so high, and it makes me a really and indeed proud alumnus. And here is another proud alumnus of mine, batchmate of mine, D.V. Giri, who is also here with me, and we both send you our best wishes on the success of this venture. And any way that the two of us can help, contribute, motivate, that's all that we can do. We'll be pleased to do that, since we are both based in NCR. Thank you very much, and all the very best once again.
Thank you so much, Mehra sir. Thank you so much, Giri sir, for being here with us. Yeah, we are running beyond schedule. I wouldn't hold you people back anymore. It is 15 minutes past 2. We shall just have possibly the last round of messages. Ayush, if you can play them, because I would personally want to read out the very last one. And then if members of the media, members of the press, if you have any questions, we are at your beck and call.
Hi Avik and everyone. Apologies for not able to make it in person. I'm a believer of India growth story. To me, India has such big potential, but we need our youth to be ready. I'm so glad Avik, with his decades of automobiles experience, and XLRI, with their academic prowess, have come together for this initiative. Congratulations and all the best.
I'm extremely happy that my friend Avik is starting a very new program along with XLRI in India, designing for automobiles. I think this kind of program is very, very unique, and I wish him all the best. I'm sure the whole of automotive industry will benefit when the new and the young will join this program and take our country forward in automotive designing, which I believe has been a bit of lacking so far. So I'm really, really thrilled that this program has been started by my friend Avik, and once again I want to wish him all the best and good luck. Thank you.
Congratulations to XLRI Delhi campus for starting the master's program in automotive design. With the able guidance of Avik, I am sure this will set new benchmarks. This kind of a program was much needed by the automotive industry, and with all the combined efforts of XLRI and Avik, I am sure the industry and the students both will be highly benefited. Wishing all the best and looking forward for the talents emerging out of this program. Good luck. Thank you.
I would read this out personally myself because this is from the master, as I say. I was very happy to hear that Gautam Sen, who I know well, and we have worked together, and Avik Chattopadhyay, who I have met when visiting India, are behind this new dedicated automobile design school, India. Congratulations to both and to the alma mater XLRI for having the vision to conceive a design school with a difference. Now the next part is what I've already sent a message back to Mr. Gandhini, that we would use this actually as our operating charter, and he's agreed upon it. It goes, for the students who will come to this design school in future, I have one message: fight to never do what someone has already done. Do not even repeat yourselves. Find solutions, perhaps difficult but new. I know it's not easy. I see today's automotive companies, especially those dealing with luxury products, indulging in the temptation to make products that are always the same. Infinite replicas of their own past, while the right path should be to respect that past, never to copy it, to avoid ruining it, and at the same time to show entrepreneurial and creative courage to look ahead, to support true genius, innovation and avant-garde. I wish for an era as close as possible where change and courage are a mandatory voice in the business plans of companies and in the strategy of every CEO. I am on your side. I mean, such an incredible message from the master himself.
Now we throw open the floor for media interaction. We have 2 mics in the room for the same. Okay. A little change in plans. We'll be having the media interaction either during lunch or post lunch. So as today's event draws to a close, I request Dr. Rajiv Roy to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sean. Dear Father Casimir, Justice Indira Banerjee, Shri I.V. Rao, henceforth known as Rao Sahib, and dear Avik, I thank you all for your time and your support for this event and for being here. I also thank those in the audience. Those in the audience actually fall into 4 different groups of people. Captains of the automotive industry, leaders from the design fraternity, friends and alum of XLRI, and Avik's dear supporters. Thank you all for coming down over here, making time from your busy schedules and supporting us in this new initiative. I also take this opportunity to thank the staff, the faculty, and the students of XLRI who have been here and done a lot. There are several people who have been able to show the support through their messages, those who could not be here. And there are several others whose name also we have not been able to take over here, who have been an integral part of this entire initiative. Finally, I would like you all to acknowledge the entire vision and effort of Avik. It was not just the effort or the vision, it was also the giving shape to something that is incredible and is likely to be incredible in the near future. Please give Avik a big hand. All of you will be playing a huge role in India going forward, and on behalf of the XLRI family, I welcome you to play this role to the hilt. Thank you all.
Thank you, Rajiv, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all rise for the national anthem now.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again. Before we proceed for lunch, whoever is interested, we can come in for a group photograph. Okay, I would request Richard to stand on a chair and do it. Yeah, you could all come here, all of us. Please come forward. Okay, okay.